Hi guys, Colt here with 25 bookish facts about me. I looked around and I could not figure out who did this tag originally. Either maybe the link was taken down or they're not on BookTube anymore, but I will say that I saw this from Life Between Words. So thank you for doing that. It looks so much fun that I decided to give it a try myself. It was really funny when I was trying to think of 25 different bookish facts. It actually took me a minute because there are things that I just don't think about that often. Fact number 1, I don't use a bookshelf to keep my books. I actually use a china cabinet. And it is a china cabinet that's been handed down in my family, so it's got a lot of sentimental value. So in a way it makes sense that I would put the things that I love the most inside of it. Number 2, I read in genre moods. I'll get the feel for a particular genre, whether it's young adult, whether it's romance, whether it's science fiction, and I will just read in that particular genre until the mood passes, and then I'll move on to something else. Fact number 3. When I was younger, I was obsessed with the Babysitter's Club and Sweet Valley High books, and then I discovered a little something called paranormal romance, and life was never the same. Fact number 4. One of my favorite stories ever is The Little Prince, and if I see something with that motif on it, I tend to collect it. That will be one of my things that I collect. Fact number 5. I don't loan my books anymore because they're my babies and I love them, and if people ruin them, I hold a grudge secretly on the inside and they break my spines and they get things on them where they lose the book. So I don't loan them anymore. There are very select few people, I think, who if they asked, I would loan. Fact number 6. So this is a really weird thing. I am obsessed with keeping the original copy of the book when I first read it. If I buy a book and I love it and I keep it, there's something nostalgic about that copy. I have books that are older than my children combined. Ones that are pre-high school. There's just something about the first cover and the first experience that I am very odd about. Which is another reason why if I really like a book and they redo the cover, I don't tend to like them. Fact number 7. Like I've said, actually, I kind of rolled them into one, but 7, I fall in love with the cover, and I don't tend to like the updates. It's very rare that I will like it when they do an update. It sometimes seems like it gets away from what it was originally, and I actually almost kind of prefer 90s covers in some ways. There were some things about the art then that they don't do now. Now it's super realism, and sometimes I don't like it. Fact number 8. When I get into a series, I really get into a series. If I fall in love with it, I get really dorky about it. Like I want bookmarks that match it. I'm probably going to buy, some kind of swag from it. I get really into it. Fact number 9. I love book formatting. I'm a sucker for a pretty book, and I don't mean on the outside, I mean on the inside. Chapter headers, notes, maps, page designs. I love it. I'm a sucker for it. And it's something that I've always had a love for, even before I was an author myself. So it's not an author thing. It's definitely a Shyla thing. Especially if you remember back in the days when they had the YA books, they used to have little contests in them, and it would be themed toward the series or the books, and you could enter it, and they had just whole pages with all this beautiful design on it, and I miss that. I think we should bring that back. Fact number 10. I borrow more books than I own, because until we set the house up with more space for books, we have to live. So I do a lot more reading from the library and things like that than actually owning books. I have to really like it to be able to own it. It's kind of like my mug obsession. Something has to leave before it can come in. You guys don't know this, so I'm just going to say thanks to Mr. Colt, who helps me film these. And he is right now laughing and nodding his head at the one has to go before one has to go in. Because I guess our house was sort of being overrun by mugs, but I mean, you got to drink from something, right? It made sense to me. Fact number 11, I literally schedule in reading time. My schedule gets really crazy. I'm a mom and writing is insane. I write full time, in between the writing and the editing and the marketing and the like approval of things like covers, I run out of time. So I actually, when I sit down and do my schedule in reading, because if I'm not reading, I find it throws everything off. Fact number 12. I really like to visit places where or near my favorite books take place. So if I'm on a road trip and I happen to be near a town, even if it's fictional, if it was sort of placed near a major town and I know that's about where it takes place, I like to stop, I like to check it out. I'm such a geek for that. I don't know why. Do you guys do that? Have you ever gone somewhere where a book was set? It can't just be me. Fact number 13. I am reading the Hunger Games series for the very first time. Yeah, I know I'm behind, but I'm almost caught up and I will be doing discussion about it because I have all the feels. I just finished Catching Fire today and there's so much I want to talk about. So look for that book discussion to be coming towards the end of the month. Fact number 14. I used to use my library receipts as bookmarks. My library prints out a receipt every time you check out and it tells you what's due, etc. I used to use those and now I have a thing with collecting bookmarks I like and trying to match the bookmarks to the things that I'm reading. I mean, they're only 49 cents usually, unless you get really fancy. So that's a new thing that I have started. Bookish fact number 15. When I'm reading, I like to have a pillow or a blanket on my lap. I don't know why, I don't know when it started. I do know if I'm sitting there and I don't have it, I always feel awkward. So that's something that I do. Fact number 16. If I'm really into a book, I respond to it out loud. I will laugh, I will comment to the characters, just like if you're watching a horror movie and you're like, girl, don't go in there. Why are you doing that? I'm notorious for doing that so much that my family usually is like, are you talking to me or are you talking to the characters? Fact number 17. If I am really into a scene or it's really tense or something is going to happen that I really didn't want to happen but I see coming, I will set the book down and I have to walk away and do something else for like a little bit and then I'll go right to it because it's just too much. Number 19. I love reading 2 books at once. I like to alternate chapters. There's something about it that makes my mind stay fresh. And I also write notes on it in a little journal so I can sort of revisit it. It's a new thing that I've done and it's changed the way that I read and I really, really like it. Fact number 20. Bigger books used to really intimidate me. If they were really long, I would sort of avoid them. I think it had to do with schedule or maybe because at the time I was in college also and I was like, I'm reading enough. So that's something I've gotten over. Number 21. I love to shop for books in used bookstores. It's just a thing, or at yard sales or Goodwill. Yes, the price is one factor, but also there's just sort of like this history with them and they have character and I really like that. Fact number 22, I just got into audiobooks this year and I'm actually really enjoying it, especially these devices called a Playway, where all you need is like a AAA battery and you plug in your headphones and it plays for you. They help me get through chores all the time. I love them for doing like work around the house or even sometimes in the garden. Fact number 23. My best friend and I have similar tastes and we love to get each other into series so we can discuss and obsess about them together. It makes it so much more fun. Fact number 24. Shyla is my real name and I was named for a comic book. I was actually named for Supergirl in the Superman series. Look it up. It's a real fact. She was an alien, so it really fits me. Fact number 25. I will forever love Laurel K. Hamilton, not only because she introduced me to a whole new world with paranormal romance when I was younger, but because of the way she treated my mom. There was one time I was away in college and she was coming to my hometown. And my mom went and got a book signed for me. She knew nothing about the series and she told Laura why she was there. She wrote this really personalized note and was so sweet to my mom that she is just got a fan for life in me. And that was our journey through 25 bookish facts about me. Tell me some facts about yourself. What are some odd things that you do? What are your reading rituals? I know that we all have them, and I would love to hear yours. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by, guys.